The Diary of Dr. X, Episode 17. The Boys from South Indian Lake. Two cool dudes, too, I must say. Two Native American gentlemen approached me as I picked up a group of beer cans at the base of one of the play structures in Fort Rouge Park in the Osborne Village early last fall. They appeared to be middle-aged like myself. "Hey, brother, what's up?" one said. "Not much. Just gathering up some cans so I can buy a six-pack." "How much do you need?" "Oh, quite a bit yet." I was just getting started that day. He reached into his pocket and gave me a loonie, or a $1 Canadian coin. "Thanks, buddy," I said. "Say, we were looking for someone to have a drink with," the other said. He pulled a Mickey of whiskey from his jacket pocket. "You want a shot?" "I'd love one, thanks." He cracked the bottle and started it off. We then passed it around the circle, taking drinks in turn. "Ah," I said after I took my first pull. "That's good stuff. Where are you guys from?" "South Indian Lake," the first replied. "Probably never heard of that." "I have, actually. Part of Manitoba Hydro's reservoir system, isn't it?" "Yep." That was why I knew of it, actually. I had studied the ecological and social effects of hydro development on First Nation communities in northern Manitoba. South Indian Lake was heavily impacted when the lake levels were raised, eventually receiving compensation from the provincial government after the usual lengthy legal wranglings over such things. We continued to pass the bottle, till it was almost gone, when the second fellow pulled out a pack of smokes. "Cigarette?" "Sure." He doled out one for each of us, and we lit them up. The other finished the first Mickey, then pulled another from his pocket and cracked it as well. "So what are you guys up to today?" I asked. "Just having some drinks before we head to the bus depot and then back up north. Hopefully they'll still let us on the plane." We all laughed as he took another shot and passed the bottle around the circle. The second bottle. Then they spoke to one another in Cree for a moment, before he reached into his pocket and pulled out a $5 bill, which he handed to me. "Here, this will help with that six-pack," he said. "Wow, thanks a bunch. I was lucky to bump into you guys today." We all laughed and continued to pass the second bottle and visit. It was gone about the same time as our smokes. I thanked them again, very sincerely, and we parted ways while still sharing the nice buzz from the whiskey. They had a plane to catch, and I needed only a couple more cans to cover my beer for the day. As I've mentioned, most Native American societies, historically, were egalitarian. And one of the characteristics of egalitarian societies is what we call, in the anthropological literature, generalized reciprocity. This is what my new friends from South Indian Lake had just reminded me of. Reciprocity is an economic pattern based upon sharing whatever one has when it is abundant, with the expectation that others will do the same when they have excess, and will return the favor when they can. It is well adapted to the hunting lifestyle of most egalitarian cultures. You see, hunting was an unpredictable livelihood, so whoever got lucky in the hunt shared with everyone else, both in order to see that everyone else got fed in the long run, and so they could expect the same when they weren't quite so lucky. And despite the residential schools and the reservations and everything else we've done to Native American societies, Euro-Canadian society has still not managed to cure many Native Americans of the habit, which I benefited from that day. I've also seen it in action in Northern Ontario when I did my doctoral fieldwork in various Native communities in that area. When I was scheduled to leave, for example, I met the old lady and her daughter living next door in the elder's residence where I stayed temporarily in the hall. The daughter and I had met several times for smokes on the front patios during my stay, since we were right next door to one another. So I gave them my remaining provisions. They would have gone bad otherwise. A pound of ground beef and some onions. Next day, well, surprise, I was still there because my ride was on Indian time. And I had nothing but peanut butter and crackers to subsist on. Guess what? My neighbors noticed me in the common TV room watching Star Trek. And as soon as they saw me there, they brought me not only a nice bowl of chili made from the provisions I had provided them the day before, but a bowl of salad as well. Interestingly, this type of reciprocity is also alive and well among those who participate in the street economy here in the Osborne Village. See, panhandling or squeegeeing or busking or anything else are also sporadic and unpredictable. Just like hunting, fishing, and gathering. Most of the street people who know one another well share and share alike also, especially smokes, beers, and weed. I've benefited from it on many occasions myself, even beyond over the empty beer cans my friends pass my way when they call out for me to come and clean up the evidence of their public parties. Naturally, I've participated on my own side as well. I mainly scavenge for beer money, as I've said, as EI pays my rent, but I often find full unopened beers as well, including king cans. These I will often share with the others if I meet them on my rounds, as they are freebies, basically, which I drink along the way. After I worked the civic election for a day last fall, I also had enough to buy an actual pack of cigarettes for the first time in months after putting some minutes on my phone, paying down hydro, getting some bus tickets, putting some money on my laundry card, and, well, spending about $80 on groceries, a little left. So when I met Zuki and Art in the street, my first thought was to dole out one smoke to each of them in order to share the wealth. Later that evening, I also shared the second last one with Zuki, where he was panhandling, as I was again on my round searching for cans already broke again and thinking of the next day. So, reciprocity will never go away. Why? Because capitalism generates poverty. And poverty generates egalitarian philosophies and practices. And well, it always will. Cheers.